bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
And welcome back, everybody. Grand Bahamas hotel sector is still reeling from the effects of Hurricane Matthew back in October of last year, and Irma's potential impact was projected to be a further setback. Well, tonight, Atalia Hall talks with one hotel operator on the Lucayan Strip who says it's back to business.
The Pelican Bay Resort is up and running. The general manager, Magnus Alnabak, says the resort went into full hurricane mode before Grand Bahama began to feel effects from Hurricane Irma. He says all preparations were made to secure the property.
Took down lights, took down sign, we empty all of our rooms, move furniture up, all pool furniture inside. It's a long list of things to do, start bagging ice, things that we have decided over the years that this is how we should be doing it. Collect telephone numbers of all staff, where they are actually going to stay, knowing where they are so we can find them, making sure that they all know that they should come in as soon as all clear has been given, and then start working.
The general manager says all guests on the property were asked to leave.
We got all tourists to leave the island from Pelican Bay. Then we always host a few people that need to be here. It's some first response teams, it is people who are associated to the shipyard, a few other people who are running businesses and needs to be here. And they are the sort of people that knows what it's like to be through a hurricane.
He says the hotel received minimal damage and thanked his staff for all of their hard work to get things back up and running quickly.
Some very minor landscaping damage and, a few little tiny roof damages where some gutters has blown off, but it's really, really nothing. So we cleaned everything up yesterday morning, got everything back in order, and last night we opened both Bones and Sabor, and the hotel is open and taking reservations.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Atalia Hall.
Well, Grand Bahama newest telecommunications company Alive receiving praise nationwide for their reliable service throughout the Hurricane Irma. Our Kimberly Mulling spoke to the representatives during the post-hurricane meeting, and she says simply, they did it.
Alive survived the test of time during Hurricane Matthew last October. While in their beta testing stages, they were able to stay up. Local media champion Talia Walgu says Alive was well prepared for Hurricane Irma.
This hurricane, tropical storm, / hurricane in the Southern Islands, we were able to hold our network up. We were able to prepare accordingly before the storm. We had batteries and generators on point close to our plants. We had restoration teams on the ground ready to go. We tried to ensure that our customers were not or limit to disruption of service during the whole storm.
The media champion notes that at Alive, customers come first, but the safety of their teams took priority, and they had to be sure the teams were able to safely carry out their duties.
We had to ensure that both Nassau and Freeport and all of the islands, Bimini, Eleuthera, and Abaco, were covered. So we wanted to not only just ensure that our teams were safe, but our customers, because our customers are always first. So we provided our teams, they actually spend the whole duration of the storm in a live call center in both Nassau and Freeport. And we did that because we wanted to ensure that if one site went down, we had coverage for the next site.
In addition to their call center remaining open throughout Hurricane Irma, Lagus added that Alive offered a number of incentives to Bahamians to be able to keep in touch with their loved ones.
We provided them with free calling from Alive to Alive, and that started from Thursday midnight until Sunday midnight. We also wanted to ensure that different hurricane shelters had coverage, so we assisted with all of the shelters in Grand Bahama. We ensured that they had Wi-Fi, and also the 3 major shelters in Nassau as well. Also, we know that there were a lot of evacuees from the Southern Islands, so we had to ensure that we met them, we greeted them, make sure that they were comfortable, make sure that they could connect to their entire families and throughout the world. So we provided them with a hurricane package that included a live phone and also a plan.
She says, all in all, Alive remains committed to serving the Bahamian people.
We always want to ensure that Bahamians across the board are safe and sound, and we want them to have the best service possible. We want everybody to be able to reach out to their families, their friends, and touch everybody, because the storm is not over, and everybody throughout the world should be able to communicate with their families no matter where you are.
Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Well, a local nonprofit organization is reaching out to help those in need in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. Founder of the Falcons Boys Club, Darren Roll, says After hearing of the devastation some families suffered, especially those impacted by the tornadoes on Sunday, he was actually compelled to render as much assistance as possible.
Here's another opportunity for the Falcons Boys Club and one of its sponsors, Mr. Eddie Wan and his family from Control Chemicals, to be able to step up specifically to any young man who is in the Imperial Park area. We're looking for about 4 young men or young lady who might have lost some school uniforms. This company is stepping up. This is the month that he normally makes a contribution to my club, and I asked him to defer that contribution to persons in those communities, that if they are in need of help with school uniform, that they can actually get back to school and have some sense of normalcy among their school peers.
Well, Grandma residents are no stranger to hurricanes, and Rose says that during these difficult times, it is important for our for us to actually be our brother's keepers.
Listening to the news, so many individuals over the past 3 to 4 days have really stepped up and contributed to people's lives, cooking, water. Persons went around to that family member, contributed to Mr. Roll, who would have lost his roof in the Imperial Park area and some other areas. So I think Grand Bahama, for the most part, has really stepped up and tried to help each other out.
Now, if you do need some assistance, you can contact Darren at 441-5620. It's that time of night, folks, when our director, Kirk Cooper, simply wants to ask the doctor.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt. Daniel sent this question. Dr. Pratt, I've struggled with eczema for as long as I can remember. I've tried every product when it flares up, and I can never get real relief. Is there an answer to eczema? Thanks for your question, Daniel. Eczema treatment depends largely on the severity of symptoms. Your doctor may offer you treatment options or refer you to a dermatologist, which is a doctor who specializes in diseases of the skin. The best way to treat eczema is to take good care of your skin. Here are some suggestions. For mild outbreaks, over-the-counter creams and ointments that contain a low dose of steroids like hydrocortisone can help with inflammation, and antihistamines like Benadryl can help relieve the itching. For more serious outbreaks, your doctor may prescribe a stronger topical steroid cream or use ultraviolet light therapy to control the symptoms. You should take warm, not hot baths or showers, and immediately apply fragrance-free moisturizer to keep the affected skin moist. Wearing cotton clothing, sleeping with a humidifier, and avoiding the use of products with harsh chemicals can be helpful as well. If you have a question regarding a specific rash or skin condition, please email askthedrbahamas@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pratt. Now, when we come back after this break, we'll tell you a few bits about what's happening in sports.